Last Epoch just released their Trade and Item Factions developer overview video where they are talking in detail about the new trading and item factions which are coming at the release of Last Epoch in about 1.5 months. And they have been already talking about those factions beforehand, right? We know a few things about this, but it is time to watch this, understand the details, and yes, I will pause in between sometimes to get an idea of what to expect. So let's watch this.
Games and game director for Last Epoch.
Hey Jan!
Today we will be discussing the highly anticipated item faction system coming to the full release of Last Epoch on February 21st.
Please
We're
do.
very excited to release this innovative new way for players to participate in the deep and rewarding item hunt that Last Epoch offers in the way that they
that's a new city.
By joining the Merchants Guild, you will be able to buy, sell, and trade items through the bustling bazaar. Or, if you choose to join the Circle
interesting.
Fortune,
What is this?
to the stars and be able to bolster your item acquisition through prophecies and increased item drop rates.
What?
This system is the result of many years of debating what the ideal trade system should look like in a loot-based action RPG. Tons of collaboration with our community and many sleepless nights of game design meetings with our game design team. We found through extensive polling that players of action RPGs are split nearly down the middle when it comes to those who want their experience to heavily involve trade and an economy, and those who want to focus on finding items.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting here. Like, this was, by the way, if you've missed this, there was a huge uproar over a year ago where they basically announced there will be no trading in Last Epoch, right? There might be the option that you can trade with your friends, but that was it. And the community didn't have that. Now, this created a little bit the picture of everyone wants trading, right? Like the whole community wants it. And people have been pushing this picture heavily, but the reality is that's not the case. There are tons of people who don't really give a shit about trading, me included. I'm not a trader, never have been really, besides of Diablo 2 if I had to, but I don't really care too much. And I just enjoy that they sat down with the community, listened to them, and came up with a system where you can do a lot of trading, but if you don't want to do the trading, they will give you boosts that you can be your self-founded character and you don't feel like you are missing out on something, right? That's always the big problem, where in games where you don't trade, you are massively behind in what you can do with your character. Path of Exile can be a wonderful example of this sometimes, right? So that they actually thought about it is a huge boon for the community, and I'm glad that they now have two systems available. And to make something clear before people are getting pissed here, which probably some people already are, I'm not having anything against trading as the idea, right? Like, I think both camps here, self-founding and traders, are right. It's both something valuable to put in an action RPG. And I would just love to see more action RPGs doing more about it, right, and doing something similar.
We believe that through the item faction system, we will deliver a tailored and exciting path to hunt for top-tier items for both.
Hopefully, yeah.
In Last Epoch 1.0, you will join a faction once you reach the great mercantile city of Majelka.
Oh, that's definitely a new one.
Or the Circle of Fortune. A new interface will become available that will let you access details about your current status with your faction, known as reputation.
So there's favor, which is apparently the new currency you have to get for your faction to probably get ranks and rewards. We also saw at the beginning that you need favor to buy something. And this is how they're making sure that you're not switching between the two factions all the time, right? That you are starting out with the faction which gives you more loot, and when you have enough loot, you go to the Merchants Guild, and then you are selling all your stuff. After you sold all your stuff, you go back to the loot faction and rinse and repeat. They want to make it so that it is a bit of a grind to unlock all the possibilities, which I do definitely appreciate.
And what benefits your faction is currently providing you.
Yep, you can sell uniques, legendary potential, you can buy and sell exalted items. All right.
Let's talk about these briefly. Reputation
awesome.
of the faction is a core part of how the faction is going to...
Sorry for interrupting here. Enemies have a chance to dropping twice as many items. Damn. Doubles the reward of monolith echoes.
Benefiting you on your journey. As a representative of that faction, you will continue to increase your reputation by killing enemies and completing quests.
Makes
For the
sense.
Merchant Guild, this includes participating in the bazaar and completing trades at your current level.
Oh.
For the Circle of Fortune, this means completing prophecies that will divine certain items after fulfilling the foretold conditions.
So this is more like a daily thing, and the other one is just, oh yeah, you want to increase your favor? Well, trade. Do the trading game. That's great.
You will ascend ranks within your faction,
or reputation.
You unique benefits and options.
Okay.
Once you have earned reputation within a faction, that reputation stays with your account in that game mode. This means if you rank up a cycle character, all of your other cycle characters will have that
cycle are seasons, for everyone wondering,
and contribute to that faction's reputation gain. You may switch factions and earn and maintain reputation with them with no penalty to your earned reputation with the other.
Oh.
Currently 10 ranks to achieve in each faction.
Interesting.
Requiring quite a bit of commitment in order to obtain. So,
makes sense.
While you have the freedom to change your faction at any time, you will want to pick a faction and stick with it to reach the most powerful benefits that they have to offer.
Okay, so you can just switch in between.
One faction at any given time per character, and items earned with the benefits from those factions will require that you are aligned with them in order to use them.
Oh, so they are not doing the reputation thing as I first thought at the beginning. They are just adding a requirement to it and say, okay, well, you got this item to self-founding. Well, you have to be aligned with the self-founding factions to actually utilize the item, and you cannot just sell this. The same goes with the Merchant Guild then. No, smart.
That rewards their preferred.
Very smart.
Next, let's talk about favor.
Yes,
favor
please.
Is the currency you will earn
so that's
while
not bad.
Or completing quests for each of the factions. Favor is separate from reputation. This currency can be used to either complete trades with the Merchants Guild or acquire new prophecies from the Circle of Fortune.
Oh. Whoa.
And if you find yourself with excess favor, you can always spin the wheel with the faction gambler.
Gamble? Gamba is back? I hope Gamba will be so much better. That was one of the biggest, like, a little bit of a turn-off. Not a turn-off, but people were just not happy that they had Gamba in the game. And then at a certain level, what is it, 42 or something? I always forget which level it is. Gamba basically immediately falls off because the item level is not rising and it doesn't really, yeah, it doesn't get better.
Item gifting to party members has been in the game for a while now, and it
yes.
isn't going anywhere. However, it's important to note that once you have joined a faction, items will start being tagged with the faction you were part of when they dropped.
Oh.
If you are a member of the Merchants Guild, and an item drops for you, that item will still be shareable with anyone who is in the party, like always, and be available to be sold, provided that you meet the rank requirements in the Merchants Guild Bazaar. Just be sure that the person you are trading it to also meets the same faction requirements. The last use case we wanted to solve for are friends who choose to play together and just want their own little trade group, which
makes
brings
sense.
us to resonances, which are a new type of item that can be found when you are questing with your friends or party members. This item can be used to enable an item to be gifted specifically to the player that you have a resonance with, even if they weren't there when the item dropped. We know a lot of times players will play with their friends, and then later you'll be soloing a piece of content, and the perfect item drops for your buddy.
Is amazing.
With the new resonance system, you will be able to give them that perfect item the next time you see them. As those of you who love loot-based action RPGs know,
that's
trade
fantastic.
And economy is a very complex and divisive issue to solve for when catering
to a
large player base and different playstyles, while keeping the item acquisition.
Whoa, that interface is amazing.
Can't wait to get your feedback on the system.
What is this? Actus Lens. Oh, this is probably what you can do on the basically the quests you are following, I would assume.
We come up with alongside you, and we thank you for all of your continued input and
passion for helping make Last Epoch
the next great action RPG. There is so much more to explore with the item faction system, so check out the deeper dive we have on our forums, and we look forward to seeing you in Last Epoch, February 21st.
Wow. Man, that's fantastic, because in so many games, let's face it, it's always just an afterthought, right? like trading in itself, let's go into the forum here very quickly. Trading in itself is such an afterthought in most of the times when you are playing an action RPG. Even, it's kind of crazy, even in Path of Exile, I would say that trading is kind of an afterthought, and it has slowly developed over the years, and now it is just a certain way without the developer really doing anything with it too much. And I strayed away from Path of Exile trading because it became a little bit too much. Then we had Diablo 3, who tried to do the auction house thing, but unfortunately they had also the greed in their eyes, and they tried to do the real money auction thing and manipulate the drop chances and whatnot in the game. Yes, that's real. You can just check the patch notes when they removed the auction house from the game, and then you have just this multiple pages long explanation on how they now had to change the drop rate because yeah, you cannot trade anymore, really. It's like crazy. And then Diablo 4 doesn't even have that, but they still scan everything. It's weird. What I want to say here is I don't want to shit on other action RPGs because I enjoy them, but that they actually did sit down and we're thinking about what to do with those systems and really give them a lot of thought. I'm pretty sure we will find some issues with it. I'm pretty sure some of the stuff will not be finished at this point, right? Like, yeah, there will be improvements to be made over time, but that they actually thought about this is just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And it seems to be really in-depth. I'm definitely looking forward to it. With that said, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, because there will be more Last Epoch videos and RPG videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye.